This is the book of Proverbs, chapters 24, verse 16. No matter how often honest people fall, they will always get up again, but disaster destroys the wicked. I like to give all praises and glory and honor to Almighty Yahweh Yahushai. I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Almighty Yahweh Yahushai. Double honors to the men of GMS who rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. This is Brother Boaz on the set once again. The righteous, like we discussed and like we talked about, you're going to go through your tribulations, okay? You're going to go through your setbacks and you're going to go through your tribulations, but you have to keep your posture until the end. Like we discussed, those that hold out to the end will be saved. Let's get it. Those that hold out to the end will be saved. Okay, so you have to keep calling on the Almighty God, Yahweh Yahushai. The book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 22. Everyone will hate you because of me, but whosoever holds out to the end will be saved. Okay, so you have to hold out to the end, and so you can be saved. Okay, when this thing goes down, okay, you're gonna fall. Okay, you're gonna get your setbacks. You're gonna go through your tribulations, and you're gonna go through your setbacks. Okay, but you have to love not your life until the end. Okay, so you like when they come out with the mark of the beast, when they come out with the mark of the beast, you know not to take that chip and say, nope, I got a plane to catch, okay? We 5 minutes to midnight until evening comes, and we have to keep our posture until the end, okay? Even if that means our death, okay? Keep 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 posture. That's what this is all about. The book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 10. Because of you have kept my commands to endure, I will also keep you safe from the time of trouble, which is coming upon the world to test all the people on the earth. Okay, there's going to be a great test. Okay, Yahweh is going to put your life on that ship. Okay, he's going to use the so-called white man, like we discussed, the rod of his wrath. Okay, he's going to use the so-called white man. He's going to put your life on that microchip. Okay, and if you get that chip, no short of a surety you will get put to death. Okay, you're not going to make it out with your life when this thing goes down. Okay, that's what this is about. Okay, but the righteous will fall 7 times. Okay, and get up again, but the wicked will fall into mischief. Okay, let's get it. The book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 4. Everything Yahweh has made is destined, and the destiny of the wicked is destruction. Okay, so Yahweh shall already destined the wicked for destruction. Okay, who is that? The so-called white man and the 2/3. Okay, they're destined for destruction. Join hand in hand, both will fall into both will get put to death. Let's get it. The book of Proverbs 11, verse 21. You can be sure that evil people will be punished, but the righteous will escape. Okay, so the righteous will escape. Okay, so like we discussed, okay, you're gonna fall. Okay, you're gonna go through your tribulations. That comes with the territory. That comes with the waters that we have to tread. Okay, it's a requirement. Okay, you're gonna catch hell. Okay, we're gonna go through your tribulations and your setbacks. Okay, but you have to keep your posture and keep calling upon his divine name and keep holding out to the end. That's what this is all about, okay? The so-called white man, his destiny is destruction, okay? He's going to get put to death, okay? Yahweh's going to eradicate this devil, okay? So you have to, Yahweh is giving you a chance now to come clean while you can now, so you can make it out with your life when this thing goes down, okay? That's what this is all about. First Peter. First Peter chapter 4, verse 12. My dear friends, do not be surprised at the painful test you are suffering. So don't be surprised at the painful tribulations that you're suffering. What are the tribulations? Well, you lost your job. What's the painful tribulations? Losing your house. What's the painful tribulation? Losing your vehicle, okay? Losing your wife, losing your kids, okay? You're going to go through it, okay? That's what this is all about. But you have to, like we discussed, he that holds out to the end, the self same will be saved, okay? The one that holds out to the end, that's the person that's going to be saved, okay? So you want to hold on and to keep your posture up until the very end, so you can receive a crown, okay, on that day. My dear friends, do not be surprised at the painful test you are suffering, as though something unusual was happening to you. Rather, be glad that you are sharing in Mashiach's suffering, so that you may be full of joy when his glory is revealed. Happy are you when you are insulted because you are Mashiach's follower. This means that the glorious spirit, the spirit of Yahweh is resting on you. If you suffer, it must not be because you are a murderer or a thief or a criminal or a meddler in other people's affairs. However, if you suffer because you are a Christian, don't be ashamed of it, but thank Yahweh that you bear Mashiach's name, okay? And that name is Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, okay? Very important. Verse 17. The time has come for judgment to begin, and Yahweh's own people are the first to be judged. Okay, so if we the first to be judged, if we catching this much hell, what's going to be the fate of the ungodly and the sinner? Okay, what's going to happen to them? Okay, they're going to get eradicated, okay, when Yahushua gets here, okay? The talking is now. You have a prophet now teaching you the way now, so you can make it out with your life, okay? So you have a prophet now teaching you the way, the ways that are right, okay? And although Yahushua jacks our ass up and put us through tribulation, he's going to be there to help you, deliver you out of that same suffering, that tribulation that he's put you through. Okay? Verse 17, the time has come for judgment to begin, and Yahweh's own people are the first to be judged. And if it starts with us, how would it end with those who do not believe the good news from Yahweh? And the scripture says, if it's difficult for good people to be saved, what then will become of the sinner? So if it's good, if good people are scarcely saved, okay, what's going to become the ungodly and the sinner, okay? They're going to get eradicated, okay? That's what this is about. They're going to get exterminated, okay? They're not going to have a place, okay? Yahweh Shai means business. He's not playing no games, okay? By a prophet, we were delivered, okay? Let's get it. The book of Hosea, chapter 14, verse 9. May those who are wise understand what is written here, and may those that take heart the Yahweh's ways are right, and the righteous people live by following them. But the sinner stumbles and fall because they ignore them. Okay, the sinner stumbles and falls. Okay, that's what this is about. By a prophet, that's what this is all about. Okay, you you're going to go through your tribulations. You're going to go through your setbacks. Okay, the book of Hosea, chapter 12, verse 13. Yahweh sent a prophet to rescue the people of Israel from slavery in Egypt and to take care of them. Okay, so Yahweh sent his men down here to prophesy these last prophets and to break down this book into the end. Okay, the book is a puzzle. We have the doctrine of GMS, like we discussed, and they have it. They cracked the riddle. They cracked the dark saying. Okay, they put this Bible together. Okay, and they have it. Okay, what they saying. Okay, eradication of the so-called white man. Okay, we're not going to be tap dancing with the so-called white man in the kingdom. Okay, Israel's going to be on top, and all the other nations are going to go into slavery. Okay, we have the true doctrine now, and it's time for you to come back into relationship of who you are in relationship to these scriptures. Okay, so you don't get eradicated and destroyed when this thing goes down. Okay, like we discussed, it's going to be a little bit of people to make it out with their life when this thing goes down. It's not going to be a lot of people to make it out with their life when this thing goes down. Okay, the book of Romans. The book of Romans, chapter 11, verse 7. What then? The people of Israel did not find what they were looking for. It was only the small group that Yahweh chose who found it. The rest grew deaf to Yahweh's call. Okay, it's only going to be a small group to find it. Okay, and you have to go through your setbacks and you have to go through your tribulations. Okay, though Yahweh gives you the bread of affliction and jacks your ass up. Okay, he give you the bread of affliction. Okay, you won't get pushed in a corner anymore. You're gonna see your teachers. Okay, Yahweh Shai, he's gonna give you the bread of affliction. Okay, that's what this is about. The book of Isaiah, chapter 30, verse 19. You people who live in Jerusalem will not weep anymore. Yahweh is compassionate, and when you cry to him, he will help you. He will answer you. Yahweh will make you go through hard times, but he himself will be there to teach you in a way of GMS. You will not have to search for him anymore. If you wander off the road to the right or to the left, you will hear his voice behind you saying, "Here is the road, follow it." Okay? You will take your idol's plates and with gold and your idol's carved with gold and silver and will throw them away like filth, shouting, "Out of my sight." Okay, you're not going to worship Yahweh no more. You're not going to worship Jesus Christ anymore. You're not going to worship all these other false pagan gods. Okay, you're going to worship God in His true form, and His name is one, Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. That's what this is about. Calling upon his divine and holy name so you can make it out of this calamity with your life. The book of Zechariah, chapter 14, verse 9. Then Yahweh will be king over all the earth. Everyone will worship him as Yahweh, and know him by the same name. Okay, so he's going to have the same name. The whole world is going to glorify his name as Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. Okay, the whole world, when he takes out America and destroys this place. Okay, the Yahweh Shai is coming to destroy the whole country. Okay, and you're going to want to have some posture and come back into who you are in relationship to these scriptures, and that's what this is about. Okay, coming back into who you are in relationship to him. Okay, that's what this is all about. Okay, but once again, you're going to have to go through your afflictions, and you're going to have to go through your tribulations and your setbacks and your downfalls. Let's get it. The book of Hebrews. That's what this is all about. Okay, one moment. Give me a second here. The book of Hebrews, chapter 10, verse 32. Remember how it was with you in the past in those days after Yahweh's light have shone on you. You suffered many things. He was not defeated you by struggles. You were at times publicly insulted and mistreated, and at other times you were ready to join those who were being treated in this way. You shared in the suffering of prisoners, and when all of your belongings were sieged, you endured your losses gladly because you knew that you still possessed something much better, which will last forever. Do not lose your courage then, because it brings with it a great reward. You need to be patient in order to do the will of Yahweh and receive what is promised. For as the scripture says, just a little longer, just a little while longer, and he who is coming will come and not delay. My righteous people will believe and live. And if any of them turn back, I will not be pleased with them. We are not people who turn back and are lost. Instead, we have faith and we are saved. Okay, so we have faith in Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, and are saved. Okay, that's what this is all about. Okay, we have faith in Almighty Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, and are delivered and are saved. Okay, calling upon His divine name. Okay, and no, just know, like we discussed on multiple occasions, you're going to go through your tribulations and you're going to go through your trials, okay? But happy is a man that goes through his trials and tribulations, okay? The book of James, chapter 1, verse 2. My friends, consider it yourselves fortunate when all kinds of trials come your way, for your for you know that when your faith succeed is facing such trial, the result is the ability to endure. Okay, so you have to have the ability to endure. That's the only way you're gonna That's the only way you're gonna learn it. If you go through have your feet over the fire, so to speak. Okay, that's the only way you're gonna endure. Okay, the, that's what this is about. Okay, you have to go through your trials and you have to go through your tribulations. Okay, through many tribulations and trials, we gonna enter into the kingdom of heaven. Okay, through many. Okay, not through some, through many. Okay. Okay, and the last test, in which we know is that RFID chip, when they implement that and make that mandatory, okay, that will separate the men from the boys, and pray to Yahweh Yahushua that you have the ability and the posture and the integrity to say no to that chip, okay, even though you have to be homeless, okay, for Yahweh Yahushua, okay. Just pray to his divine name, okay, that you have the ability to endure. The book of James, chapter 1, verse 12. Happy are those who remain faithful on the trials, because when they succeed in passing such a test, they will receive as their reward the life as which Yahweh has promised to those that love him. Okay, so that's what this is about, okay? The ones that can endure sound testing, okay? The ones that can endure and hold out to the end, those are the ones that's going to be saved, okay? Once again, the righteous falls 7 times, but the wicked falls into mischief, okay? And you're going to see the destruction of Zion, or the destruction of America. You're going to see it with your very own eyes, okay? You're going to see Yahweh Yahushua destroy this place, okay? This this man fucked up, okay? Okay, this man fucked up, okay? He didn't think things through. The book of Proverbs, chapter 29, verse 16. When evil people are in power, crimes increase, but the righteous will live to see the downfall of such people. Okay, so the righteous are going to see the downfall of the wicked. Okay, you're going to see America is going to be destroyed. Okay, you're going to see a new missiles, hundreds, millions of missiles falling on this country, okay, detonated over America, making it making it the second death, the lake of fire, okay. That's what this is about, making it a river, making it the lake of fire, okay. The book of Revelation, chapter 2, verse 11. If you have ears, then listen to what the Spirit says to the churches. Those who win the victory will not be hurt by the second death. Okay, the second death. What's the second death? Okay, thermonuclear destruction. Okay, raining down on this man. Okay, destroying his kingdom. Okay, annihilating this devil. Okay, eradicating this devil. Okay, this man fucked up. Okay, and if you don't want to be caught in the riffraff, you have to hurry back up to Yahweh Yahushua while you still can. The book of Job, chapter 18, verse 5. The light of the wicked shall be put out, its flames will never burn again. The lamp of their tents will be darkened. Their step is firm, but now they stumble. They fall victim of their own vices. They walk into the nets, and their feet are caught in a trap. A trap catches their heels and holds them. On the ground, a snare is hidden. A trap has been set in their path. All around them, terror is waiting. It follows them at every step. They used to be rich, but now they are go hungry. Okay, this devil's gonna be starving in the kingdom. Okay, he's gonna be starving in the kingdom, catching straight hell. Okay, the so-called white man. Okay, he's gonna catch straight hell in the kingdom of heaven. Okay. I don't know how they're going to endure it. Okay, they got to pay for the slavery of putting their hands on us, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. This man's going to catch hell in the kingdom. They used to be rich, but now they go hungry. Disaster stands at wait at their side. A deadly disease spreads over their bodies and causes their arms and legs to rot. They are torn from the tents where they are secure and dragged off to face the king of death. That king of death is Yahweh Shai, okay? No one punishes like Yahweh Shai, okay? You dealing with a God that took us, put our asses in slavery, damn near eradicated the Native American Indian. What Native American Indian do you know? Okay, he damn near eradicated the Native American Indian. Okay, and that's his chosen people. Okay, just imagine of what he's going to do to those that who he hates. Okay, I don't see how they're going to go through it. Okay. I don't see. Imagine how this devil's going to go through 1,000 years of hardcore cattle slavery. Okay, this man fucked up on this one. Okay, he didn't think things through. Okay, although Yahweh Shai, he used these devils, but this devil took it too far. Okay, he took slavery too far. Okay, he should have gave back our nationalities of who we are. Okay, let her get our own lands back. Okay, but this devil took slavery way too far. Okay, so this man fucked up on this one, okay? He didn't think things through, okay? He's gonna get eradicated. Verse 15. Now anyone who lives in their tent after sulfur is sprinkled to defect them, that's nuclear weapons, their root and branches are withered, their flame is ended at home and abroad. No one remembers them anymore. Okay, you're gonna look around and say, where's the so-called white man at? Okay, where's the Edomites at? Okay, they got eradicated. They will be driven out of the land of the living, driven from light into darkness. They have no descendants, no survivors from the east into the west. No one hears of their fate. Shudder and trembles with fear. That is the fate of the evil people, the fate of those who care nothing for Yahweh, okay? So this devil fucked up on this one, okay? He didn't think things through, okay? So that's why it says his body is for the sin of his youth, okay? His body is for the sin of his youth, okay? His body is for the sin of his youth, Book of Job.
Phrase his body is for the sin of his youth is from Job chapter 20.
The book of Job, chapter 20, verse 11. Their bodies used to be youthful and vigorous, but soon they will be turned into dust, okay? They that's a so-called white man, okay? Soon he's gonna be turned into dust, okay? That's what this is about, okay? And if you don't want to get caught in the riff raff, you better hurry up and call upon a Yahweh Shai, okay? Because do much tribulations, you should enter into the kingdom, okay? Do much trials and tribulations, you should enter into the kingdom, okay? not a little bit, okay? So once again, like we discussed on numerous occasions, the hell that you're catching right now and the hell that you're going through, you have to go through it. I know it sucks and I know it's hard, but you have to go through it. That's the way you learn, and that's the way you keep posture, and that's your connection with Yahweh Yahushai, okay? You got to go through it, okay? That's what this is about, okay? And the last test, which is coming soon, okay, is the RFID chip, microchip. When they bring that out, that's when the separate the men from the boys, okay? And simultaneously, that's this man's ass, okay? When he brings that out, okay? That's the so-called white man's ass, okay? When he brings out the microchip, okay, then he mandatory, make that mandatory, that's when Yahweh, that's when he's going to get eradicated off the planet. And he's going to go into slavery. Okay, that's what this is about. That's when this man's going to get eradicated. The book of 2 Peter chapter 3 verse 10. But the day of Yahweh will come like a thief. On that day the heavens will disappear with a shrill noise. The heavens, the bodies will burn up and be destroyed, and the earth and everything in it will vanish. Okay, the heavens is gonna be destroyed. Okay, it's gonna be destroyed. Okay, that's what this is about. Okay, and if you don't want to be burnt to a nuclear crisp, okay, come back into the names of Yahweh Yahushua while you still can, while the doors of mercy are still open. Okay, do many tribulations that you're going to be saved. Do many of them. Okay, not some. Do many tribulations that you're going to be saved. The book of Acts, chapter 14, verse 22. They strengthened the believers and encouraged them to remain true to the faith. We must pass through many troubles to enter the kingdom of Yahweh. There they taught, okay? You so through many tribulations, okay? So once again, the righteous man falls 7 times. Okay, the honest people fall 7 times, but the wicked fall into mischief. Okay, this man is gonna fall into mischief. Okay, when this man when he goes down. Okay, he's gonna fall right into mischief. That's what this is about. Okay, one moment. The book of Psalms, chapter 90, verse 1. Whoever goes to Yahweh for safety, whoever remains under the protection of the Almighty, can say to him, "You are my defender and protector. You are my power, and you I trust." He will keep you safe from all hidden danger and from all deadly diseases. He will cover you with his wings, and will be safe in his care. His faithfulness will protect and defend you. You need not to fear any danger at night or sudden attacks during the day, or the plague that strikes in the dark, or the evil that kills in the daylight. 1,000, you're going to see 1,000 may fall dead by your side, 10,000 all around you, but you will not be harmed. You will look and see how the wicked are punished. So you're going to look and see America being destroyed, okay? You're going to look and see America getting annihilated. You see that? You're going to look and see how America's destroyed. Okay, and the so-called white man go down. You're going to see it with your own eyes. You're going to witness these things, okay? How Yahweh Shai destroyed this place. You have made Yahweh your defender, the Most High your protector, and so no one, and so no disaster will strike you, no violence will come near your home. Yahweh will put his angels in charge of you to protect you wherever you go, okay? That's what this is about. We got angels around us protecting us, okay? So don't be grieved at the tribulations and the setbacks and the sorrows that you have to go through, okay? It comes with the territory, okay? You're going to be happy and when you're delivered, okay? You're going to look around and say, this is a pleasant sleep to me. You're going to look around and say, my sleep has been pleasant. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 31, verse 26. Then people will say, I went to sleep and woke up refreshed, okay? You're going to go to sleep and you're going to wake up refreshed, okay? When this thing goes down, okay? You just need to keep posturing and keep calling upon his holy and divine name, okay? Even though you go through tribulations and setbacks, okay? It comes with the territory, okay? That's what this is about, okay? It comes with the territory, okay? Just, just, just know, okay? The so-called white man, his best days are over, okay? His best days are behind him, okay? The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 13. This man's best days are behind him, okay? 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 19. Verse 13. The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 13. Every test that you have experienced is the kind that normally comes to people, but Yahweh keeps his promise and he will not allow you to be tested beyond your power to remain firm. At, at the time you are to test, he will give you the strength to endure it and so provide you a way out, okay? So whatever you're going through, whatever tribulations you're going through, he will provide a way out of it, okay? You just have to have faith and have belief and have confidence and Yahweh Shai, okay? That's what this is about, okay? Have faith and keep your posture and keep on calling on his divine and holy name, okay? That's what this is about, okay? And he will deliver you out of the tribulations that you're going through. He's not going to just leave you stranded, okay? He's not going to leave you abandoned, okay? He's going to be there for you, okay? But you have to have some faith and some posture Okay, that's why he says, have faith as a mustard seed. Let's see if we could get it. Have faith as a mustard seed. You have to have faith the size of a mustard seed. The book of Luke chapter 13 verse 18. Yahweh shall ask, what is the kingdom of heaven like? What shall I compare it? It is like this. It is like this. A man takes a mustard seed and planted it in a field. The plants grow and becomes a tree, and the birds make their nests in its branches. Okay, so you have to have. If you say to this mountain and this hill, go into the sea. Okay, it'll go into the sea. Okay, that's what this is about. Okay, you have to have some posture, and you have to have some integrity when you dealing with Yahweh Shai. Okay, that's what this is about. Okay, so just know that you will go through your tribulations and your setbacks. Okay. Okay, but with your faith, you'll say, mountain go into the sea. Okay, then it will go into the sea. Okay, that's what this is about. Okay, calling on His divine and holy name. Okay, you're going to go through it. Okay, we all are facing some type of trial, is whether it be money problems. Okay, once again, losing your house. Okay, losing your kids, losing your loved ones. You or your loved ones are going through it. Okay, but just know that it comes with the territory. Okay, okay. So one moment. The book of Luke chapter 16, verse 19. There was once a rich man who dressed in expensive clothes and lived in a great luxury of every day. There was also a poor man named Lazarus, covered with sores, and who used to be brought to the rich man's door, hoping to eat the bits of food that fall from the rich man's table. Even the dogs who come and lick his sores. The poor man died and was carried off by the angels to sit beside Abraham at the feast in heaven. The rich man died and was buried. And in the Hades, where there was great pain, he looked up and saw Abraham far away and Lazarus at his side. So he called out, Father Abraham, take pity on me and send Lazarus to dip his finger in some water and cool off my tongue, because I am in great pain in this fire. Okay, the so-called white man is going to be in great pain in this fire, getting whipped. Okay, getting hanged, getting lynched. Okay, we're going to have these devils in some pits. Okay, pits. Okay, working the hell out of them. Okay, they're going to catch straight hell. Okay, they're going to catch straight hell. Okay, but You had judgment without mercy, so that same judgment is going to come onto you, okay? The so-called white man, that's why it says laugh on now, Edom. That's why the scripture said laugh now, Edom, because what's coming to you, okay, is you're going to get eradicated, okay? That's what this is about, okay? We're going to work you for a, 1,000 years, okay? Then you're going to get eradicated, okay? That's what this is about. But Abraham said, remember, my son, that in your lifetime you were given all the good things, while Lazarus got all the bad things. But now he is enjoying himself here, while you are in pain. Besides all that, there is a deep pit lying between us, so that those who want to cross over it here to you cannot do so, or can anyone cross over to us from where you are. Okay, that's the kingdom of heaven. Okay, that's the kingdom of heaven. The rich man said, then I beg you, Father Abraham, send Lazarus to my father's house, where I have 5 brothers, and let him go and warn them, so that they at least will not come to this place of pain. Okay, that's the kingdom of heaven. Abraham said, your brothers have Moses and the prophets to warn them. Your brothers should listen to what they say. The rich man's answered, that is not enough, Father Abraham. But if someone rise from the dead and told them, then they will turn from their sins. But Abraham said, if they will not listen to Moses and the prophets, they will not be convinced, even if someone were come and rise from the dead. Okay, so yeah, this thing is going down. Okay, this thing is going down. If you say go into the sea, it will go into the sea. Bible verse. The book of Mark, chapter 11, verse 23. Okay, one moment. The book of Mark, let's start at verse 22. 11, verse 22. Yahweh shall answer them, have faith in Yahweh. I assure you that whosoever tells this hill to get up and throw itself into the sea, and does not doubt in his heart, but believe that what he says will happen, and it will happen, and it will be done for him. Okay, so you got to have some faith. Okay, what about your faith? Okay, what about your faith? Okay, if you have to have faith, okay? That's what comes with this doctrine, okay? Without faith, you won't make it out with your life when this thing goes down. Without faith, you won't make it out with your life when this thing goes down. Okay, one moment. The book of Mark, chapter 10, verse 27. Yahushua looked straightly at them and answered, "This is impossible for human beings, for not for Yahweh. Everything is possible for Yahweh." Okay? Everything is possible. Okay, one moment. Trying to find this scripture. Okay, calling on his divine and holy name and believing in him. The book of Luke, chapter 8, verse 25. And he said to his disciples, "Where is your faith?" But they were amazed and afraid and said to one another, "Who is this man? He gives orders to the winds and the waves, and they obey him." Okay? Who is this man? Okay? Who is this powerful man? He is the man that's going to bring the destruction and the salvation of many in Israel, okay? That's what this is all about. Having your faith and keeping your faith and keeping your posture and calling on Yahweh Shai. That's what this is about, okay? The so-called white man, he's the past. He's the old news now. This is we're going into a new age now, okay? Where Yahweh Shai will reign as king forever, okay? He will be great, and his kingdom will have no end. Okay, it's going to be where the so-called white man is the past. The book of Luke, chapter 1, verse 32. Why do you think he's going to try to mark the society? Or why do you think he's going to try to mark the so-called white man knows he's the past, okay? A new age is upon us now, okay? The age of Yahweh Shai. That's what this is about. He will be great, and he will be called the Son of the Most High Power. Yahweh power will make him a king as his ancestor David was, and he will be the king of the descendants of Jacob forever. His kingdom will never end, okay? So his kingdom, Yahweh Yahushai's kingdom will never end, okay? It will never come to an end, okay? That's what this is about. You want to posture yourself towards Jerusalem so you can make it out of here with your life, okay? you might can't save your family and your loved ones, okay? You got what it say in the book of Ezekiel, you have to save your own life, okay? You have to save your own life so you can make it out of here, okay? Okay, because this man's going to put a lot of pressure and a lot of, he's going to tempt you. That's why it says, Father, this is how we shall pray. Let's get it. The book of Matthew is chapter 11, verse 4. Forgive us our sins, for we forgive everyone who does us wrong, and do not bring us to a hard testing. Okay, don't bring to us a hard testing. Okay, we know we have to go through the tribulation, but pray to Yahweh Shai, pray to Yahweh Shai that He doesn't bring you to a hard testing. Okay, that you got to go through a tribulation a hard way. Okay, you pray that Yahweh Shai doesn't put you through that type of hell. Okay, so you can make it out of here with your life. Okay, because like we discussed, if you get the microchip, you will be destroyed, okay? That's your ass, okay? I'm going to say how Tahar said it. That's your ass, okay? If you get that microchip, that's your ass, okay? Especially if you here in America, that's your ass. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. That's it. If you get that, okay? And that's when all the tribes and of the people will mourn. Okay, they're gonna mourn. The book of Revelations. Okay, one moment. The book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 5. 1 verse 7. Look, he is coming on the clouds with UFOs. Everyone who sees him, including those who pierce him, all people of the earth will mourn over him. So shall it be. Okay, they're gonna mourn. Okay, because why are they gonna mourn? Okay, why are they gonna mourn? Because the bullshit comes to an end. Okay, last hired, first fired. Can't help your loved ones. Okay, always having struggling money, paying bills. Okay, you can't find a job. Okay, always catching hell. Okay, they're gonna mourn. So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, they're gonna be put upright again, and with their posture, they're gonna take. They're gonna say the Book of Psalms. The Book of Psalms, chapter 2, verse 1. This is what they're gonna say. Why do the nations plans rebellions? Why do the people make their useless plots? Their kings revolt, their rulers plot together against Yahweh and against the king he chose. Let us free ourselves from their rule, they say. Let us throw off their control. From his throne in heaven, Yahweh laughs at them and mocks their feeble plans, okay? Their new world order, okay? Yahweh Shai laughs at that, okay? It's just a big game to Yahweh Shai, okay? It's just a big game to Yahweh Shai. Okay, Yahweh laughs at these devils. Okay, these devils are gonna go down. Okay, that's what is about. Okay, these devils are gonna go down. Okay, this man's gonna be eradicated. It's just a game to Yahweh Shai. Okay, that's it. Okay, Yahweh Shai is just entertaining itself. Then he warned them. Verse 5, then he warned them in anger and terrifies them with his fury. Okay, thermonuclear bombs being detonated, cooking America half alive, raining coals and blows on this man. Raining coals, raining coals on this man, okay? That's what this is about. Let's see if we could get it. The book of Psalms, chapter 11, verse 6. He sends down flaming coals and burning sulfur on the wicked. He punishes them with his scorching winds. Okay? That's it. That's it. He rains burning coals on the wicked. Okay? Thermonuclear destruction, eradicating and exterminating these devils. Okay, that's what this is about. Okay, and you have to go through your tribulations and your setbacks if you want to make it out of here with your life. Okay, you have to go through it. Okay, let's turn to the book of Hebrews. Give me one moment. The book of Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 1. And I close on this. For us, we have this large crowd of witnesses around us. So then let us rid ourselves of everything that is getting in the way and of the sin which holds us to us so tightly, and let us run with determination the race that lies before us. Let us keep our eyes fixed on Yahushai, on whom our faith depends from beginning to end. He did not give up because of the cross. On the contrary, because of the joy that was waiting for him, he do nothing of disgrace of dying on the cross, and he is now seated at the right side of Yahweh's throne. Think of what he went through and how he put up with so much hatred from sinners. So do not let yourselves become and discouraged and give up. For in your struggle against sin, you have not yet had to resist to the point of being killed. Have you forgotten the encouraging words which Yahweh speaks to you as his children? My child, pay attention when Yahweh corrects you, and do not be discouraged when he rebukes you, because Yahweh corrects every one he loves and punishes everyone he accepts as a child. enduring what you suffer as being a father's punishment, your suffering shows that Yahweh is treating you as his children. He was there ever a child who was not punished by his father? If you are not punished as all his children are, it means you are not really children, but bastards. In the same case of your human fathers, they punished us and we respected them. How much more then should we submit to our spiritual father and live? And on that note, I'd like to give all praises and glory to Almighty Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, Shalom.